One of my last questions, Warren, is about retiring farmers. And given your unique perspective in traveling to all corners of Australia, I want to see if you've got any messages of hope to aspiring farmers. That are there retiring farmers out there that you've seen that are open to this idea of transitioning ownership to kids that aren't their own? Like we mentioned, we talked about it quickly the other day, but it's always intriguing to see people who haven't really known what we're doing and throw this question at them and to see what they say. But I won't jump in. But your thoughts on that?
So you talked about before about that start the seed of the unbreakable farmer, if you like, which I didn't never clarified before. But I'm really uncomfortable in the farming space calling myself the unbreakable farmer, and I always before every talk explain how it all happened, because I'm not the unbreakable farmer. Every farmer's unbreakable and face their challenges. It was just I did a speaker course and we had to come up with this superhero name. That was part of the workshop, and standing up in front of a group of, and I call Melbourne people. They were like, so there was about 13 or 14 of us, and we had to spill our guts, basically. That was part of the workshop. And one bloke stopped me halfway, no, not even halfway through me spilling me guts. He goes, "Stop, you're the unbreakable farmer." And I thought, shit, that sounds okay. So coffee break went straight to GoDaddy and typed in the domain name. It's available. Bang, that's it. So, and the rest is history. So that's how that come about. But to get back to that first seed of the unbreakable farmer happened when, on my search for my identity, I become a real estate agent for 3 years as a dairy specialist for a local firm in Shepparton here. And basically every day for the 3 years I worked there, I dealt with 3 Ds every day: death, divorce and drought. And sitting around tables with guys that had been farmers for 40 years, their kids had gone to uni. Basically, they wanted to get off the farm but couldn't afford to get off the farm. You know, there was that really conflicting conversation that they were having in their head. And basically what I become is not a real estate agent, I become a counsellor. And that's then I thought, well, there I've got my journey and I can hit these two together. But on the other side of it, which is your journey now, is those farmers that I sat face to face with genuinely distraught with their decision-making process, because they'd worked their whole bloody life to build this asset and this farm that they were so proud of. And for whatever reason, and most of them legitimate reasons, their kids had moved away to uni or whatever, or got married and didn't want the farm. They had to sell it, and they didn't want to do that. Most of them really, deep in their heart, didn't want to sell that farm. And that's when, like, we had this first conversation a few weeks back. I thought, well, what a fantastic idea that you've got, because that would have given these people an idea. And I set about doing that a little bit, like I was doing a little bit of a remote farm management where I was managing a number of farms remotely, and it kind of worked and it kind of didn't, for all different reasons, and probably most of them were financial constraints within the industries at that stage. But that idea kind of got born from those kitchen table conversations with these farmers, and you know, that's kind of what you're doing now. Because if I had that, well, here's Sam's card, give him a call, this could be an option that you could go down, that, you know, go and spend the next 12 months in Italy or in the Maldives, and let's kind of match you with this guy who's passionate like you were when you were 25 years old about farming, and let him take it on. And one, you can retain your asset and while he's buying it off you, or however you structure it. And two, you might be able to mentor this young fella and turn him into the farmer that you are.
Yeah.
And that's where I see this whole concept is fantastic, because the statistics tell us that, you know, the average age of a farmer is getting up there, and a lot of these guys are at the end of their working life, and they've got these farms that they've worked so hard for, and at the end of the day they've just got to cash them in because that's the only option.
Yeah, and it makes me so sad to think about that. I was talking to a retiring couple a couple of weeks ago about this very thing, and they said, "Oh, I can't believe we've only just found out about what you're doing because we don't want to sell, but that's all the only option we have. We didn't know there was other options out there, and that just makes me feel so sad. And but also in some way that I want to inspire aspiring farmers that there is a massive market out there of retirement age farmers who want you, who need you, who don't know about you, and I think that's the sort of spark I want to get out to people is get rid of that mental barrier of double guessing what a retiring farmer might want. Who wouldn't love the idea of what you just said, backing a top quality farmer who would love the land just as much as you do, and you can download all your knowledge and help realize the vision for your farm. Like, that is a great offer. And we've just got to be, and you as an aspiring farmer have to be persistent to go and chase it and try and uncover those farmers. And maybe there's something here about real estate agents, Warren, as well. We maybe need to get them activated and highlighting these options as well.
Exactly right. But I think the thing is that there has to be a mindset shift, like with everyone, and don't just think that on both sides that they're selling that farm is the option. Like, there's so many. When you start moving in really entrepreneurial kind of circles, people come up with solutions to problems that you just think, wow, that'd work, and exactly what you're doing. But it's just, don't let that mental barrier stop you. And I suppose that goes back to your initial question: how do you just keep persisting? And I think it's changing your mindset and just knowing that there's a way. I've just got to find it, and I might have to tread water for a couple of years while I find that solution, but why not, while I'm treading that water, develop the skills that I need to, so when that day comes, when that solution, lands on my doorstep, or I walk into that solution, I'm ready to go. I think that's the important part, is that if you've got that dream, keep chasing it. Eventually the solution will find you.
That's great, mate. Well, let's leave it there. I'm sure farmers watching this are pumped up, and we want you to keep chasing your dreams as possible. I'm pumped up to keep chasing the Cultivate. Thank you for your attention and for watching this video. Click here or somewhere to watch more of our videos. If you're new here, please do subscribe. We want more of your attention. We want to get you inspired to get onto your farm. Let's get you farming.